It always make me laugh how Mexicans they'll be with their girl and they'll be the same height. Always make me laugh, man. Like y'all can't grow up.
Press shift 2. All right, invite. Copy the clipboard. All right, I'm live, so go on there.
All right.
Oh, let me see. All right, there you go. Can you hear me? All right, there you go. Yo, can you hear me? Hold up. Yo, can you hear me? Oh, there we go. I'm tripping. I'm waiting or whatever, but there you go. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Yeah, I can hear you. We good. We good. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna
There's an
delete that
echo.
other shit and I'm gonna just play through it. This is what's that? Hold on, let me add my headphones. That might help. So I don't have to talk as loud or whatever. But I already unsubscribed to the other shit. I'm gonna pay for this. Cause this got everything and it's real easy. You know, you see how I'm sharing my screen and I ain't gotta worry about doing all the other shit. Yo, you there?
Yeah, there's echo. You don't hear that echo?
I don't hear echo. No.
Maybe it's me. Oh,
It sound like you sound like you a little distant though.
yo,
Yeah, I can hear you.
oh, hold on. But I'm saying, why can't I hear you through my headphones, though? Give me 1 second.
All right.
Yo,
Yeah.
still coming through my phone. Let me put it on speakerphone. Yo,
Yeah.
I guess we can do it like this. I guess I just gotta hold the phone up to my face to talk.
Oh damn.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Let me do this. It's just you in here right now, but somebody. Let me do this real quick. Chasing True. Oh yeah, this is niggas way better than the other shit, man.
See how
Way better.
pull it up on your phone. See how it sound.
All right. All right. All right, talk.
Yo, what's going on?
Yeah, it's fine, man. Fuck it. Yeah, we good. All right, I'm gonna pay for this shit afterwards. It's fine. I ain't, that's echoing because I got the shit on my phone now, but it's all good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, turn that off. That's crazy.
Nah, nigga, I just turned it on. It wasn't on before.
Well, it was on before because I heard echo before. Like when we first got on the phone, there was
Now,
echo, but okay, but we all good now.
all right, all right. Yeah, this shit is very user friendly and everything, man. All right, cool. Let's do this, bro. All right. Oh, this is fucking perfect, yo. All right. So we're gonna start off with this UFC breakdown. UFC 276, Cannonier, Cannonier versus oh shit.
Hey man, what channel is this, man? What show is this?
Yeah, we chasing the truth. We chasing the truth. We got my boy Eric on, and we you know what I'm saying, we starting something good. We're gonna do this UFC 276 breakdown. Well, not a breakdown, but the preview. All right, and let me motherfucking hold up. Let me get this. Damn, I gotta get this window. Hold on 1 second. Let's have this shit too. Oh, God. Let me. Can I get this window, man? I need that. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to just get this. What's the name? Yeah, give me a second. Also, I sound like Pharaoh. Give me a second. I'm trying to figure this shit out. All right. Let me add this. Alright, man, my bad. I just had this screen up. I'm trying to share. Okay. Then we're gonna share screen. And then we're gonna do a Chrome tab, which is gonna be this Tapology one. Okay. Oh, alright, good. We good now. Alright, we good now. Alright, yeah. So we're gonna start off with this UFC preview. Alright. 276 Adesanya versus Cannonier. Alright. And we just start from the bottom and work our way up. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start from the bottom and work our way up. Or what you think, man? Because I mean, what most people do, they actually, they start from the bottom and go the way up. They don't talk about the main event.
This your show, so we can start from the bottom up. We can go,
All right, cool. All right, so let me see how this looks. Yeah, we got Jessica Rose Clark versus. Yeah, versus Julia Starenko. Now, shit, I don't really. I mean, I know Jessica Rose Clark. I'll be honest. I'm not really a big fan of hers. Um, I don't really think she's that good of a fighter, in my opinion. I don't know too much about this Julia Stoliarenko. I'm gonna look up her last fight. Um, let me look up Julia's last fight and see if I remember any of these.
Well, with these two, I'm thinking we're gonna get some average, some average lightweight female MMA. Probably not a lot of wrestling. Maybe a lot of clinching up against the cage with these two. Jessica Rose Clark, she's more of a grappler, and she has decent boxing, but a lot of girls have decent boxing. The other girl, I'm not too familiar with though. So maybe you
Yeah,
should.
exactly. So I'm looking up Yana Kunitskis, whatever. Ain't that what's his name, girl?
Yeah.
Thiago Santos girl. Okay, she lost to her, so that means that this.
Oh, so
Damn,
this is
she lost to
bantamweight.
Julia Avila back in last year, about pretty much a year ago, and then she
Uh-huh.
lost to Alexis Davis on February 2nd. So damn, she must be trash to be honest.
Well, bantamweight, man,
I'm
like
going
it's
to
pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's not the deepest division.
Jessica Rose Clark. I'm not impressed with her because she beat Sarah Alpar. I remember that fight, but Sarah Alpar's trash. Okay. Um. Yeah. Oh yeah. She lost to Stephanie Edgar. Got armbar. She said she beat Jocelyn Edwards. Okay. So after looking at her last fight, I think that Jessica Rose Clark will win. Let's see the odds. Let's go back to
So,
odds.
is
I
this
know
fight
she's
at
the favorite.
is this fight at bantamweight? Is that a flyweight?
Yeah, it's at bantamweight. It's at bantamweight.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
It's at bantamweight. That's what it said right here. So, yeah, it's a bantamweight.
I'm mistaken because a lot of those girls drop down to flyweight to is it flyweight? Yeah, 125. They drop down to flyweight. I'm thinking that I'm thinking she was a flyweight. Yeah,
Oh yeah. So I
because she
mean,
has Jessica
this
Eye
one,
on the record and Alexis Davis, and both of them are flyweights now.
oh okay,
Yeah,
yeah. So it's 125. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. And then
yeah.
Jessica
We can
Clark,
move
she
on
can't
from this one.
shoot with them tattoos. Yeah, fuck them. That's a weak ass. I mean, it's a preliminary fight. You know what I mean? Where just all right. Now the next fight, Brad Tavares versus Driscus Duplessis. Now I got something to say about this one, but I'm gonna let you go first. And if you, I mean, you can look at my screen, right? You can see this, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. All right. You can read
With Brad Tavares, like Brad Tavares is a journeyman's journeyman. He's the veteran's veteran. He's never had a fight of the night. He's never had a win bonus. He's never, been in title contention. He's just always that guy. He's always 15, 14, 13 in the middleweight division for at least 5, 6 years now. So with Brad Tavares, he's going up against Duplessis. I'm pretty sure he's a younger up and coming guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So I'm
Um.
I'm, I'm thinking this is another tailor-made matchup because the first matchup that Israel had, in the UFC was against Brad Tavares. It was kind of a showcase fight. So
Okay. All right. See, that's good information. I'm looking up his record right now. Damn. Oh, you saw Yoel Romero. Oh, he lost Israel Adesanya in 2018. Okay. I see exactly what you're saying. He a journeyman. I'm not too familiar with him. I mean, so he's only had really two fights the last 2 years. Um, one against Antonio Carlos Jr. and then Omari Akhmedov. Don't know either of them. Well, but they were both on pay-per-view cards. Poirier versus McGregor, and then Poirier versus McGregor 3. He fought on both of those cards. I'm not too familiar with him. Like you said, he's a journeyman. I do know something about Driscus Duplessis. I have been watching him. He is an up-and-comer. He is nice. He's from South Africa. I'm predicting an early KO. All right, by Duplessis. He's
yeah,
nice.
well,
I've
I
seen
think
him
that's
fight.
what everybody's doing. I think that's what everybody's
Yeah. No, he's nice. Okay, he's
mhm.
nice. He's not one of those people. And that's I'm looking at his last couple fights. Well, none of his fights in the UFC have gone to decision. Okay, he's won both. He's 2-0 in the UFC, and he has yeah, he fought Marcus Perez. I remember that. That was my first time seeing him. And then he fought Trevin Giles and beat him in the second round. Dude
Okay,
was
yeah,
on
I
knockout.
saw that.
Yeah. No, he a nice up and coming prospect. Okay, so
Yeah.
he's somebody that I feel is going to do well. Uh, yeah, he's somebody I feel is going to do well. Let me pull this up real quick.
What's the odds on that?
Okay, so the odds is what's the name? Brad Tavares is actually he's a slight favorite, so he a minus 125. So it's not he ain't a big favorite at all by any means, but he is internet slow. Yeah, it's showing that he a minus 125 favorite. Duplessis is a plus 105 underdog. So it's pretty much even, but it's favoring Brad Tavares by a little bit. I really feel like this Driscus Duplessis, he's actually a real one. Okay, and like you say, Tavares fought Adesanya, he a journeyman and everything like that. So it's kind of like a legitimate test for Duplessis, and I think he's gonna pass it. That's just my take on it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to what's the name? The next fight. All right. Oh, yeah, we got the next fight, Jessica I versus Macy Barber. All right. So we're gonna check our eyes on this one. First of all,
check
I got a lot to say about this one. I got a lot to say about this one. Now, all right. So we got Macy Barber coming in as a minus 220 favorite against Jessica I, the plus 180 underdog. Now, let's just go to Jessica I first. She's the underdog. I'm gonna look up some of her fights. All right.
This fight could be the worst fight on the card.
It could be the worst fight on the card, or my girl Macy can come out banging like she's supposed to. But
okay, well, I'll say this. While you looking that up, Jessica I is another just middling fighter. I wouldn't even call her a journeyman. She's fought across, I think, maybe two. I think it's two weight classes. She used to fight at bantamweight. She's pretty much fought everybody. She's fought Raquel Pennington. She's fought everybody. Pretty much, but she doesn't do anything good. She's not overly explosive. She's not overly athletic. She's not strong. So what I'm thinking is we're going to see Macy Barber kind of push her up against the cage and just be real boring. But I think Uriah Faber and them down at Team Alpha Male, they're teaching Macy how to be, just a little bit more careful with her game plans these days. Especially every fight since the Roxanne fight, she's gotten a little bit more, kind of wall and stally, if you know what I'm saying. So I think Jessica I, she, with her very, very, very weak boxing, she looks good boxing. She has nice posture and everything, but she has no power. She has no zip on her punches. So I'm thinking this is going to be a real boring snooze fest with Macy winning by decision.
Okay. And that's interesting. I mean, you probably already know I'm a fan of Macy. Now, this is something that you only going to get here on Chasing the Truth. We're going to talk about, hold on, let me go back. We're going to talk about Macy's last fight. Now, even though I'm a fan of Macy, I will agree and say that she did not win against Miranda Maverick. Okay. I do think that she got a little, what's her name? She got some favorable, she had a favorable decision against, one of her, then she fought Montana De La Rosa. Okay. I actually like Montana De La Rosa, so I feel like that was a good matchup for her and everything like that. But, I mean, you were one of the ones who told me that Macy Barber, she's actually supposed to be, she was supposed to be one of those prospects before she got hurt against Roxanne Modafferi. Okay. And,
yes.
Which, damn, that was right before the pandemic started. So I feel like, this is an important fight for Macy, and I'm a fan. If Macy listening, I'm a fan. So one of my all-time favorite fights is her against Hannah Cyphers. Okay. So, I mean, she beat Hannah Cyphers' ass, and maybe one day, if we get some people in here, I want to invite Hannah Cyphers on here. But she beat Hannah Cyphers' ass very badly. Okay?
I don't think that was a fight. That was a beating.
Yeah, that was a beating. Yeah, it was a vicious beating. It was a very vicious beating. But I like Macy. Okay, so I'm gonna be rooting for Macy. But this is my thing. Is like how you talk about how people were talking about Macy. That's what she needs to do. I I'm kind of with you. I feel like it could be very boring or whatever like that. Especially the last two fights went to decision for Macy Barber. But I feel like Macy Barber can do it because combining some grappling matches, Jessica I, she is 0-5 in her last fight. So that's 3 UFC fights and then three and then 2 grappling matches. So she's not doing very well. And I feel like Macy Barber, she's kind of had some like I said, favorable decisions. So it's time for Macy to really step it up.
Well, can I throw this
Improve.
one in there?
Yeah.
You seem to have an affection for certain fighters that have certain websites dedicated to their body. Jessica I
Okay.
also has OnlyFans.
I didn't
Does
know Jessica had
that change?
OnlyFans, but
Yeah, does that change how you feel about her winning, or possibility of winning?
now the only thing I like about Jessica I, man, is she our age. You know what I mean? So I mean, I got respect for that. Going in the ring and still doing that. Yeah, matter of fact, she got her birthday coming up next month. She's about to be 36. So her birthday 2 days before mine. So
Oh man! Oh
yeah,
damn!
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that I got respect for is that she IA is still competing and everything like that. So I'll give her that. But yeah, man, yeah, we'll see. I felt like that's a good matchup, you know what I'm saying? So I'm rooting for Macy. I know you say it's gonna be a boring fight.
Yeah, remember I said that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a boring fight, but we you know, we can go from there. So anyway, we're gonna move on to the next fight.
So the odds of
Yeah.
Jessica I winning are pretty low
Okay. Let me go back.
because neither one of us are picking her.
Yeah, we are not picking her, which is good. But yeah, she's a plus 180 underdog, and then Macy Barber is minus 220 right now. So you
Yeah.
got to risk 220 to win 100, and then for Macy, and then for Jessica I is 100 to win 180. So yeah,
For
it's
me being the non-gambler guy, I would not put any money on Jessica I, even if I didn't
yeah,
want to.
exactly right. And
Yeah.
she's the rightful underdog, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like, and this is my opinion from gambling. I feel like this is about right. As somebody who's been gambling on this for about 2 years, and what I know about the fights in general, this is pretty fair how you do it because this is the type of fight that Macy should win and should win with no problems. Okay, she's a younger fighter. She's a prospect.
She's a
Even though you
stronger
just
fighter.
go, what's that?
She's a stronger fighter, 100%.
She should fucking beat Jessica I up, but we'll see how it goes, and we'll go from there. All right, so like I said, I'm rooting for Macy, and like I said, I mean, stay tuned. So I ain't got shit. You know what? I might do a post fight weigh in. Okay, I'm gonna watch the fights live, the weigh-ins live and make some stuff after that because that could be these women cutting weight and everything. Well, any of these fighters cutting weight that could do something, but I could even say Macy inside the distance. Okay, like for real, but I ain't gonna say like it's not like the first women's fight. I don't think that either one of these are trash women fighters. Okay, this is mid level. This is mid level MMA for women, mid level. Okay, so especially you got a veteran versus somebody who's supposed to be up and coming, not really up and coming anymore. She's a veteran, but she's the younger fighter. So we'll see how that goes. So we're gonna move on to the next fight. All right, got Uriah Hall versus Andre Muniz. So I know Uriah Hall. Let me look at this dude. You know Andre Muniz?
not too familiar with Muniz, but I think we all know Uriah Hall at this point.
Right.
You know, a lot of promotion put behind him at first, a lot of knockouts at first, and you know he's kind of had a disappointing career if you want to be frank about it. But you know he's such a good guy that everyone roots for him. You know, pretty much every fight. So.
Right.
And coming off that you know the beating that he got by oh my god, I forgot who the guy's name, but coming
Strickland?
off Sean Strickland, coming off
Yeah.
the beating he got from Sean Strickland, and then the fight before that, you know, with the Weidman leg break, you know, and
Yeah, exactly.
he's had an up and
Oh yeah, and
down.
then he fought Anderson Silva, and that shit don't even count. Right.
That doesn't count. Yeah. So
Yeah, he fought Anderson Silva when he should have been retired.
yeah, and from what I'm hearing about Muniz, he's an excellent grappler. He's going to look for a submission, but that hasn't really been you know Uriah Hall's Achilles heel, even though he's a primarily a striker. So
Right.
I'm thinking this it should be an interesting fight. I wouldn't pick Uriah Hall just because of his age, and you know the other guy's kind of on his way up. Uriah Hall's on his way down, and you know he's not even on main cards anymore. So I would kind of stay away from
Yeah.
Uriah Hall on this one.
All right, yeah. So, similar to the last fight, it's pretty similar odds. Even though Andre Muniz, he's a minus 240 favorite, and Rahul's plus 200. So he's a little bit more. That's how I like to think about fights. We just talked about Jessica I and Macy Barber, kind of very similar situations. All right, Jessica I was an older fighter. Macy Barber's an up and comer, and then you got this fight with Uriah Hall. He's a little bit older fighter, veteran, against somebody who ain't really an up and comer, but he's 5 fights in the US. One, two. We'll see 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 fights in the UFC. He's an up and comer, similar odds. I do agree with you about Uriah Hall. I've only been watching this the past couple of years. The Anderson Silva fight, they felt it was so bad that after that Dana White was like, man, Anderson Silva ain't fighting in the UFC no more because he got beat by Uriah Hall that damn bad. That was embarrassing. But
Well,
you can't really count that.
that's not why he's not in the UFC anymore. We're just I will have no slander of the Spider.
Yeah, no. But look, that's what I'm saying. Look, this is where when you talk about a casual before like 2019, 2020 or whatever, I knew who Anderson Silva was. Anderson Silva was the truth. Like 10, 12 years ago or whatever like that. So yeah, he was a premier. He was a premier. Staple in the UFC. So I ain't talking about. I ain't really familiar with. I'm trying to look at his fight. Oh, okay, he fought against.
Well,
I think I
looking
remember
at
that.
I see. Is that Muniz record on the screen?
Yeah. He fought Eric Anders. And then
Yes,
he
yes.
fought. Yeah.
Allow me to say one thing about that. If you ask Eric Owens about anything, I will never
Yeah.
give you credit for a win over Eric Anders. Eric Anders is, in my opinion, he's the worst fighter in the promotion.
Wow. Okay.
He's the worst fighter in the promotion, if you ask me. He's not good at one thing. They always talk about how he used to play football and how he's strong and he's explosive. If you watch the Eric Anders fight, you would not feel that way about him at all. So,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's a former Alabama player. He's a former Alabama football player, right?
And Greg Hardy's a former Cowboy.
Yeah.
He was a scrub too. He was a scrub too. So, but go ahead. I just had to throw that in there. That would be a reoccurring thing if Eric Anders ever comes up on our cards.
Right. I got you. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. All right, let me do this. Yeah, I ain't familiar with Andre Muniz like that. So, all right, now here we go. Now this is a classic. We got Donald Cowboy Cerrone versus Jim Miller. Right? So, yeah, this is
Would you like
What
me to
would
go
you
ahead and
call
get
it?
my Would
Yeah,
you like
yeah.
me to
Go
go ahead
ahead.
and
But
get out the way?
I'm trying before. Hold on. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
How would you? I'm trying to think how it. This is a classic fight or something like that. Let me see what they got. Go ahead. What's your, what is
Well,
it?
if anybody knows me, the Cowboy's my first and last favorite fighter. I saw him back when he was fighting in WEC when he had the nasty Muay Thai stance and he was leg kicking everybody and triangle choking everybody when he was fighting Benson Henderson and Jimmy Varner. So watching Cowboy fight at this point in his career is very cringeworthy, and I kind of watch through my fingers, when I see Cowboy fight these days. So it the best
Yeah.
the best case scenario for a fan of Cowboy is for him to somehow maybe knock out or submit Jim Miller, which is probably unlikely for him to submit Jim Miller. Jim Miller is an excellent grappler, and it, we just want Cowboy to get a win and retire and take his hat off and leave it in the cage. All that good stuff, man. It's hard
Yeah.
watching. And
Yeah.
we don't expect Cowboy to have a second career in boxing like an Anderson Silva or go box Jake Paul, but Cowboy's one of the most famous fighters in the UFC. He's one of the most loved fighters in the UFC. He's at the top of most of the records. He's all over the record book. So a win in a retirement speech, especially since he made it onto a pay-per-view, they might move it up to the main card. Who knows? So I'd like to see a win in a retirement speech. So
Yeah, and that's interesting you mentioned that. So I'm just looking at his last. Damn, man, my computer.
yeah, go down Cowboys record and see the list of
All
players.
right. So we got. Oh, this is like. So he is on a 5 fight losing streak in the UFC. Okay, with a whole bunch of canceled bouts against Joe Lozon that just happened for a lot of reasons. But yeah, you know what? Hold up. Yeah, and not including his grappling matches that he lost. We ain't counting that, but yeah, Cowboy is definitely he needs a win. I agree with you because even as somebody who ain't really been into the UFC until recently, like the past 2 to 3 years, um, I knew Cowboy just like I knew Anderson Silva. Okay,
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask
so
you how
yeah,
you felt about Cowboy.
exactly. Like even if somebody, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll turn on a UFC fight. Cowboy, you know what I'm saying? You got to put some respect on Cowboy's name. It's messed up that you got to see people like this at the end of their career and everything like that. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? And yeah, he just turned 39, man. You old. You know what I
Two,
mean?
two
I
kids,
know
two
you got a
kids,
lot
a
of
wife.
fans like you. Yeah. You said 2 kids and a wife?
Yeah, 2 kids, a wife. He got a ranch where he can ride his 4-wheelers and milk his
Yeah.
cows and ride bulls or whatever he does out there. He has land, money.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, so, and then we got Jim Miller. He on a 2 fight winning streak. This his last loss was Joe Selecki and Vince. So yeah, I feel like this is this is yeah, Cowboy should be the underdog for a lot of reasons, which he is, and similarly he is the underdog in this fight. Let me see. It's actually not on Tapology, but similar odds they got right now. Cowboy at Cowboy. What is he at? Shit, let me see.
Well, I
He
also
at
say
plus
this.
180.
I also say
Go
this
ahead.
about Jim Miller. I say all that about Cowboy's long, illustrious career. Jim Miller's been fighting just as long. If you go down Jim
All right.
Miller's
Yeah,
record, and
they just as
he,
old. Yeah.
he's one of the original guys from the UFC. He's never been a title contender. He's always been in the top 10 his whole career at one of the hardest divisions to be successful in at lightweight.
Mhm.
You said he's on a 2-fight win streak.
Hey, he's on a 2 fight win streak.
Yeah, at his age. So,
Right. Yeah, that's impressive. Right.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's a favorite. So right now he's a favorite, and that I guess what I'm trying to say. Hold on one second. Let me turn this off. What I'm Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, damn, that's cool. It's through my phone. Sorry, my headphones. But anyway, this is like one of those retro classic fights for people who want to see um two veterans fight, on a pay-per-view card. So I mean, it's a good, it's kind of sad too that this is a little bit deep in the prelims, but hey, it is what it is. So
I'm
yeah,
sure it'll get
we'll see.
moved up. I'm sure it'll get moved up to at least the main event of the prelims. 100%.
That's interesting. Let me
Yeah, I'm
see if
sure.
they updated that because it's actually damn, it's only Monday. They still only have 4 fights in the in the main card, so that'll be interesting too. Um, you know, that's something like which fight do people think should be moved up there? Since the main card is usually 5 fights, but this one's pretty deep down on it. We still got some other fights to preview, so I'm gonna go in there. But yeah, you know
Well,
what? Like I
Jim
said,
Miller was initially supposed to fight Bobby Green in that spot,
yeah,
and
I would have
I'm
took
100%
Bobby
sure
Green.
with Bobby Green they would have moved that up anyway. So it's 100% gonna get moved up.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. All right, yeah, that's a good point. See, that's good info. But hold on, see if I can make this shit bigger.
Would have been nice to have Bobby Green on this card too. This is a pretty stacked card.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very stacked card. You know what I'm saying? Very stacked card. All right, so we gonna move on to the next one. Ian Gary versus Gabe Green. Now, I've heard, let me see. So we got Ian Gary. I've seen him fight before. Gabe Green, I'm trying to remember his fights. We got Ian Gary coming in minus 150, and then Gabe Green, the underdog, plus 125. So let me go and do you know what's your take on this one? Before I'm going over Ian Gary's Ian Gary. I know he fought recently too. That's why I was like, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've only seen Ian Gary fight once. He's pretty decent. He has more to say in the pre-fight conferences and the interviews and all that. But he's a somewhat kind of flashy fighter. He's trying to do the Conor McGregor mold and just talk up his fights and just. But he's not as good as Conor. He's not as good as a lot of fighters. So a lot of hype put behind him by himself. So when it comes to these new prospects, these up and coming prospects, you got to prove it to me. So.
No, I got you. That makes sense, especially when that. You know what? And that's a great point that you. That's exactly how I feel about baseball. Okay, when I bet on baseball, if I see a pitcher and I don't, you got to prove it to me. All right, I'm definitely not betting against you. Not unless you super duper nice or something like that. That's exactly how I feel. So what about Gabe Green?
I don't know who that is. Never seen him fight.
Okay.
Never heard of him.
All right. So
So this might be another showcase.
well, he lost to Daniel Rodriguez in May of 2020. So actually, that was actually, one of my first. I remember watching that card. Okay,
Yeah,
because I
Danny
remember
Rodriguez
watching
is
Daniel.
good.
Yeah, exactly. So he lost to Daniel Rodriguez. He beat Philip Rowe, and then I have no idea who this Johan La. Who's that? I don't know. Lane, whatever that name is. Yeah, so he
Okay,
won that. So
I
he
know
actually on
Philip
the two.
Rowe.
Yeah. Two fight we went street fight Ian Gary, and like I said, I do remember Ian Gary's last fight he fought recently, so I ain't really got either way on this one. I guess this is it should be a good fight. I know, like you said, I do remember even from his last fight Ian Gary that he was talking a lot. He's very confident and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that. So we'll see. So it should be an interesting fight. I ain't got too much other to say about that one though.
Yeah, not
Oh,
too
all right.
excited about Ian Gary.
All right, let me move on. Let me go to. Oh, shoot. Hmm. All right. Next fight is All right, Robbie Lawler versus Brian Barberena. Okay. Now, I'm gonna start with this one. I this is like, to me, this is the younger version. I always even say younger version. Well, I can see it because Robbie Lawler might be a little bit younger than Cowboy, but this is like Cowboy versus Jim Miller to me. Except they are not as old. Well, actually, no, Robbie Lawler is older than Cowboy, but obviously, he's a veteran. So is Brian Barberena, and surprisingly, Robbie Lawler is he's a slight favorite against Brian Barberena. Now, I'm gonna start off with Brian Barberena, and I know, he had the surgery. I forget what surgery, or his back surgery and everything like that. I'm gonna find something. This is interesting. Let me see. One of his fights that I was like, yeah, he lost to this dude Jason Witt, who was, in my opinion, fucking terrible. Okay, and I don't even you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, he lost to him. He's going to decision and everything like that. Oh, that Matt Brown fight was a classic fight recently and stuff like that. That was a good fight.
Matt Brown
However,
definitely won that fight.
yeah,
I think
exactly.
Matt Brown, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just like, I mean, and then Robbie Lawler, clearly to me, he's a veteran, and he probably needs to hang it up soon too. Okay, but I actually do like him. Um, I do like him against Brian Barberena, just for the simple fact that I feel like Barberena, like you said, he lost his last fight, in my opinion, even though it was a good fight. And I'm just like, man, he just seemed like he a little fragile to me, if that makes sense. Like, he ain't got it all there to fight and shit like that. So I feel like, you know what, Robbie Lawler, it's gonna be a banger. I don't see this one. I don't see this one going to the judges. Somebody's gonna die. All right, whether it's Barberena getting, knocked out, or Robbie Lawler getting knocked out. I think it's safe to say this one will end in a knockout. Okay, even though Robbie Lawler's tough and everything like that, I just feel like, in my opinion, with both of their fighting styles, somebody got to. So that's what I got to say about that. And they got Robbie Lawler as a slight favorite at 40 years old, which is interesting as hell. So that just goes to show you what Vegas thinks about that, which, that means something to me, because normally you wouldn't have a 40-year-old going against a 32-year-old and the 40-year-old being a favorite. Even though he ain't a big favorite, he's still the favorite. So, and then, Vegas, they just get people to, bet on the fights and everything like that. But this is an interesting one. Like I said, it's a classic, but go ahead. Go. What's your take on it?
Well, with these two, it's an excellent matchup. You look at both their careers, the damage they both taken throughout their careers. It's a great matchup. But I think the one thing that we gotta, everyone has to agree with is that Robbie Lawler has taken an inhuman amount of damage.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
And the fight against Colby was kind of sad to watch, even though Colby is is an excellent fighter, excellent fighter. That was kind of sad to watch. Even this fight against Cowboy was kind of and then the Nick Diaz fight that
Yeah,
made me
nah,
sad
they
as
shouldn't
well.
even had that one. Yeah, they
Yeah,
shouldn't
so.
even had that one.
But I think Barberena will be able to bring that aggression out of Robbie. But I put Barberena on my list of human punching bags. So he's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to give something back. Barberena is not a bad fighter at all. He's a good fighter. But coming off of
Yeah.
back surgery, and he said this might be what you were alluding to. Coming off of back surgery, and even though he's a certain age, he's taking a lot of damage. He was talking about
Right.
retiring if the UFC didn't
Mm.
resign. So with this fight, I guess he
Mm.
got retired. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah. So the main thing that we have to another thing that we have to stand on is or pay attention to is how Robbie's able to take a punch. Even the first clean jab, if he kind of shells up and and backs up, if he's not extra aggressive against somebody that's going to allow you to hit them in Barberena, that'll tell the tale of the fight immediately.
Right.
And I always like to see how people walk out to the cage. That kind of I've switched my picks watching people walk to the cage, so that's going to mean a lot to me. Mm-hmm. So we'll see about this fight, but it's excellent matchmaking.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know both of these fighters, so this is it'll be interesting to watch because like you said, I feel like Robbie and Cowboy, they in the same boat. Like it's almost time to hang it up, like literally. So is he gonna go out with a bang, or are we gonna see? So we will. So let me go check the next fight.
And when with
else to say about it?
with these unexpected retirements that we've been seeing, either one of them could hang it up. Like I'm saying,
What unexpected retirement? You talking about like Jake check?
Yeah, like JJ and Felice, like people that we didn't really expect to retire. That they weren't really title contenders. They were kind of just middling fighters. I think we could see a Robbie Lawler retirement. Win or lose.
Yeah, I think he should, man. Like you said, I even remember. Matter of fact, just to talk like that. His first Nick Diaz fight was a lot of damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Years ago, like damn near 20 years ago and shit. So it's
he was getting knocked out back then.
Right? Yeah, exactly, man. So you gotta give respect to them. I mean, that's what they do for a living. So they obviously, man. But it's getting old. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Robbie's a legend, man. Robbie's a legend. Robbie, he was the hot prospect when he had hair, and he went up real fast in the UFC rankings. He took a couple losses, and everybody kind of, they kind of became iffy feeling about Robbie Lawler. He ended up going to Strikeforce, which is where he had that Nick Diaz fight, that classic fight. He fought Manhoof. He fought a lot of people in Strikeforce, a lot of excellent, classic fights. Then he comes to the UFC. Then he goes on that all-time run, beating Johnny Hendricks and beating Roy McDonald, and he had an excellent career. So.
Yeah, that Roy fight, I remember even watching that. Yeah, and I rewatched it. Yeah, one of them that was like a banger. Yeah, it was like very violent.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna move on to the next fight. So, I got an official pick. I actually would pick Robbie Lawler. I'm just I feel like Brian Barberena, he's a younger fighter. Like you said, he's a good fighter and everything like that. But you said it best. Like he's a punching bag, and I feel like shit. Robbie Lawler just gonna go out there and bang, and somebody gonna fall. So
he's gonna go out there and box. I don't know if he's gonna bang. That's what I'm saying. Like that first punch that he takes, we're gonna see if his aggression changes.
Right.
Yeah, because when guys get older, the power never goes. It's just that their aggression goes. If you ever watch Rashad Evans at the end of his career, like it was. If you watch Tyron Woodley at the end of his career, that's an even better example. So,
right.
Once that aggression goes, they're done.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So I'm moving on to this next one. We got Brad Riddell and Jalen Turner, the Spider. Okay.
This might be the best fight on the card.
Wow, that's interesting. You say that. You go ahead. And not the spider, but the tarantula, whatever. I thought it was a spider. Go ahead. You go. Who you gonna talk about first?
Well, Brad Riddell. I know Brad Riddell because he's fucking swole. that's the first thing you see when you see Brad Riddell fight, and then the second thing you see when Brad Riddell fight is how he's wild but technical. He never gets tired. He's an excellent grappler, a strong grappler. He takes people down from off the cage, in the middle of the cage. He's a great fighter. He trains with Israel. So you he gets a dynamic of training with a striker or training with Volkanovski or somebody who's well rounded. I really like Brad Riddell, but he's going against Jalen Turner, who's just an excellent, strong athlete. And it's all the technicality you can have in your game and all the skills you can have. They can be nullified by just a strong Negro. You know, you know what I'm saying? It's a stronger guy who can just out punch you, out kick you, or whatever. So I think this could be the what's most intriguing fight to me. I wouldn't say the best fight, because I'm pretty sure Max and Volkanovski's gonna put on a show. But this is probably the most intriguing fight to me to see how the styles match up.
Yeah, I agree. I like Jalen Turner. You know what I mean? He's a finisher. That's my thing. Like you said, he's tall. He's skinny, but he's like extra strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, and you said that Brad Riddell is swole too. So this is. See, I'm usually not a fan of stuff going to decision, but I feel like this one could go to decision. You know what I mean? Because I feel like this is a good matchup. Let me check the odds on this one. This is interesting. So, what I haven't even looked at them yet, but who would you say would be the favorite? This would be without even looking at the odds.
Without looking at the odds, I would say Turner would be a slight favorite.
Okay. I mean, I ain't looked at them yet, so let's just see. I'm gonna go. I'm a Jalen Turner fan. I like him.
Jalen Turner has the fast twitch muscles, but Brad Riddell has
he athletic.
Brad Riddell has kind of like the grappling muscles,
Yeah.
If you remember a guy named Rosamir Paul Harris, the guy that would just injure people and rip people's knees up. I'm pretty sure people in the audience know who he is. So if you look him up, they're kind of like the same body type. Just a big, strong guy. You don't want pulling on your ACLs.
Right. It says Jalen Turner's minus 120, Brad Riddell's plus 100. So you hit it right on the spot. Like, that's exactly what that means. It's like this is supposed to be a close fight with Jalen Turner slightly favored. So yeah, I feel like this will be a good fight as well. I didn't know the stuff about him training with Israel or anything like that, but that's actually very good. So we
people are pointing at I forgot the name of was it City Kickboxing? Yeah, people are pointing at them as one of the best gyms out there now.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, they got Volkanovski, Adesanya, him. Who else? Kakar France out there.
Dan Hooker.
Yeah, Dan Hooker, right? Who else? It's another one. I think it's a black dude too, but I don't know. But yeah, they got some talent out there. Can't be sleeping on New Zealand and Australian out there. Obviously, they got some people that can fight.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's interesting. All right, let me move on to this next one. All right. All right, there we go. This is the first. This is the one. Yeah, they still got 4 fights on it. So this is the first fight of the main card so far, and it's only 4 fights. But it's Pedro Munoz versus Sean O'Malley. So I'm you the MMA expert. I'm just a gambling person. So I'm just gonna speak from my perspective. All right. Now I know that Sean O'Malley is obviously he's nice. He's an up and comer. They got him in as a minus 240 favorite, and they got Pedro Munoz as the plus 200 underdog. So with this being said, obviously they expecting Sean to win. In my opinion, I would pick Sean to win because it's somebody who's newer and understands the gamble and everything like that. I know he's the up and coming fighter and everything like that. I have not really. I've obviously seen Pedro Munoz fight and everything like that, but he's at his tail end of the crit. And without even looking at, I know he fought the dude who Marlon Moraes and everything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that fight and everything like that. So
You remember when he knocked out Cody? Cody Garbrandt.
No.
Cody kind of he kind of went wild and just threw away everything and went in with his arms arms down and just swinging.
Okay, he won. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you know, for the record, I ain't really started watching these fights like every weekend until 2020. That fight was in 2019 when he fought Cody.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't really. So it's been about 2 years that I've been, you know, pretty much watching every weekend and everything like that. I ain't been doing it like you have. So I know he's a veteran and he's been in there a while. But yeah, he lost to Frankie Edgar's old ass. I do remember watching that. Jimmy. Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, you should not be losing to fucking Frankie Edgar. All right. See, I even know. See, Frankie Edgar. I'm gonna tell you how a person I am. I know Frankie Edgar. He was booming back when Anderson Silva and Cowboy was fighting. All right, that's how long he's been doing it. What's that?
Yeah. Frankie. His first real successful fight was when he beat BJ Penn. And you know how
Exactly. I remember BJ Penn. That's like late 2000. I mean, that's the late 2000s and shit like that, or even mid 2000s. See, I know that. That's how old. So you should not be losing to somebody that's that damn old. That was you know, what I mean, even though I know Frankie Edgar was fighting BJ Penn. He lost to and then that's my problem with Pedro Munoz. You losing to Jose Aldo. Obviously, he a legend, Hall of Famer, and everything. Same thing with Dominic Cruz, right? But they old. They at the tail end of their careers and stuff like that. So I feel like you know, yeah, man. It's just kind of I can't even say Cowboy before Cowboy is at this point now, but yeah, man, that's something that I find. And when you breaking down these fights, you gotta take note of people's age and career. Like Sean O'Malley, you gotta understand they really promoting him. He one of the most popular fighters and shit like that. So yeah, he one of the most popular fighters. And hold on. Oh, Green. Oh shit, we got somebody in here. What's up, man? Oh shit, hold on a second. I don't know. I just checked it. What's up? Yeah, we got somebody in here. The MMA Jedi. All right, cool. Thanks for joining, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks for showing up, man.
Yeah. I just saw. I gotta. That's cool, man. Man, we just talking about the fights and everything like that. But anyway, Pedro Munoz. Like you gotta understand. If I'm really breaking down this fight and really gonna gambling on it, and people don't know the fights like we know the fights, Sean O'Malley should beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? And do it pretty handily because you know he's the up and comer. He's the one that they trying to promote and stuff like that, and he's nice. You know, and one of his last fights when he beat the one dude, Chris Mutino, when he should have fucking went to sleep, dude. Like that dude, like he was taking punches. Like I ain't never seen anybody take no punches. Let me see if that was or he fight somebody. I know he fought Marlon Vera and stuff like that, but yeah, Chris Moutinho. Oh, then he fought Paiva. That's right, he fought Paiva. You know, and I felt like that was a good test for him and everything like that. But Sean O'Malley is supposed to be that dude, so you ain't gonna lose to nobody who's losing a Frankie Edgar's old ass. So
check this out. I think, in my opinion, this is more of a test than you think it is.
Really?
With Pedro Munoz's style, you know, he's kind of a straight up guy. You know, he's not that flashy, but one thing he does do well is he throws out that little stupid calf kick.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right. That's underrated. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, he's very good at that. And if you watched his fight against Jose checked every last one of them. Jose was able to. Scout it
I remember we was talking about that. You was like, that leg kick. I remember we was texting that. You was like, that leg kick. That's just classic, right? Now I got you. That was Go ahead.
Oh yeah, my bad. But now people know about how, you know, susceptible Sean O'Malley is to his leg kicks. So that could be a dynamic that that changes the look of the fight early. Because Sean O'Malley, he kind of has to get going. He's long. He's long. He has powerful long strikes. He kind of keeps you at the end of his jab and his straight punches. But I think Pedro has a better chance than you think, just because of what he can do well, and he's tough. He's kind of a straight up fighter. He can jump over the top with looping punches. But I think if he can get that leg kick going and kind of get Sean O'Malley to kind of stay stationary or kind of pick his leg up to to block the kick, I think Pedro can make it look a lot more challenging than what the odds are saying it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's why this is a pay-per-view card. It's a good matchup. Like, I know it's just one of those how I would describe Pedro Munoz, and what I know about him is that he's a little bit more than a mid-level fighter, in my opinion. You know what I mean? He still got something left in the tank to fight and everything like that. So it ain't like it's no layup for him or anything. Like, he's a tested veteran. So
he's the gatekeeper.
Yeah, all right, right. Yeah, you can call him a gatekeeper. Right. That's why I said he's a little bit above the mid tier and stuff. Like, he's been around and fought damn near everybody. So it's just like, yeah, I agree with that. So yeah. Anyway, so all right. So, I mean, who would you pick? I mean, I like you gave an interesting dynamic about it, but
I would pick O'Malley, but I would say it would go to decision. He's not gonna be able to style on him and have him running around the cage. Like, it's not going to be that much of a. He'll showcase his skills because he's a flashy fighter and he looks good fighting because of his body type and everything. But I don't think he's going to be able to just embarrass Pedro Munoz, no matter how old he is or how many fights he's had.
Right. Now I got you. Like you said, it's not like and it's interesting, how they talk about, when we talk about up and comers and gatekeepers and stuff like that. This is not Shavkat versus Neil Magny. I don't think that at all. Like, there was no doubt in my mind that Shavkat was gonna win. This one, you know what I'm saying, it's a good fight. You know what I mean? It's a good test for him and stuff like that. Sean O'Malley ain't Shavkat. He's nice, but he ain't.
Yeah, he's lost before.
Yeah. So. Yeah. All right. Yeah, he lost to Vera, so I think Sean O'Malley too, because there should be no reason if you developing and you up and coming as a fighter, you shouldn't be not saying that Pedro Munoz is trash or he's not, but he should win this fight. Okay, he should definitely win this fight.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll move on. Go to here we go. All right, the next is, I already know, it's Strickland. It's my man. All right, let me see. Alex Pereira and Alex Pereira versus Sean Strickland. I'm gonna let you go first on this one. All right, so
okay. Well, I'm not gonna say everybody likes Sean Strickland, but everybody is aware of Sean Strickland. So.
Right.
Yeah, so Sean Strickland exists. Sean Strickland, he's a really good fighter. I would say, other than somebody like Israel or somebody with that's just on another level, I would say that Sean Strickland has the best defense in the middleweight division. Like, just the amount of clean punches he takes, and he's always out of kicking range. And if you watch him just use basic head movement, and he'll lean back, and he's just he'll kind of throw up a half Philly shell, and when he's on, and he's really good when he's on. But the past couple fights, he hasn't done a lot of the talking. He hasn't been really aggressive. He's kind of like been a point fighter more so. So I don't think he's going to be able to really, do the extra chilling out. I'm just going to box you up kind of game against Pereira. Now, I went back and watched a few of Pereira's fights. I watched the fight against Israel, whatever. Only reason he's in the UFC because you know, he beat Israel in kickboxing. So like, what do you have? Yeah, what does he have? 7 MMA fights, something like that. Oh, he's 5-1, 5-1. Yep. So yeah, he's 6.
Oh, his birthday coming up too. He's gonna be 35 next month. All right.
Yeah. So and he's 35. So you know, like you know,
Oh damn, you're right, man. Oh wow, he's damn near all his fights been kickboxing fights. Yeah, he's only had He's only had 2 UFC fights.
Okay. Yep. And his first UFC fight was a good finish, excellent finish. You know, it was a jumping knee, you know, double switch knee. Yeah. And his second fight, he fought Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva was real tough. I picked Bruno Silva to beat him. You know, I figured, you know, he'd throw something over the top and knock him out. But Pereira was able to show how fucking technical he is. You know, he's a long, athletic guy. You know, he has great punches. I think he's a better puncher than he is a kicker, to be honest. But in order for Strickland to I think, you know, get a clean victory, you know, where he's not bloodied up at the end of the fight, is for him to just push him up against the fence and he has to MMA him, if that makes sense. If Sean Strickland's able to wrestle him, you know, because he's originally a wrestler, so if he's able to get takedowns and then, you know, kind of talk to him, you know, as you know, he's in his guard and just, you know, be entertaining that way, I think people will, you know, open up to him more. You know, he just has to be entertaining. You know, all the shit he says on Twitter, you know, whatever, you agree with it, you can think it's entertaining or whatever, but he just has to win this fight, you know, because I think this is a number 1 contender's bout.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure you how to check that. I mean, I could check it. Let me see.
Well, you don't have to check it, you know, but I'm pretty sure it is. You know, given the two, you know, both of them have momentum behind them, and Pereira has the story. So, if Sean Strickland goes out there and tries to just outstrike this super kickboxer, I don't think that will go well for him. So, I think if he kind of does some boring wall install, gets a couple single legs, you know, kind of do what Talia Santos did, you know, just. You know what I'm saying? Just wait for a kick, wait for a punch, wait for a drastic movement, get him down, hold him down. You know, talk to him a little bit. People enjoy it.
Right. Now I got you. You know, since I want to say I seen Pereira fight, but hold on, what the hell? I've seen him fight. However, you know, since he only had 2, yeah, you know, whatever. I mean, that's why you here. You know what I mean? But I'm a fan of Sean Strickland. I like Sean Strickland. You know what I mean? And one thing that you know, for UFC, man, his boxing is crisp, man.
Oh, yeah.
His boxing is where it's at. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, even for me, you know, I see some of his sparring sessions, like he really be getting into it and shit. Like he's a true fighter, man. I like him because, you know, being an adult, I like that shit. He ain't trying to be nobody's role model or nothing like that, man. Fuck, you know, he's a fighter. You know what I mean? So, fuck, and people understand that, like, he's a fucking man. You know, that's what people want to hear. I want to hear shit like that. I
always say that, like you gotta remember these guys are cage fighters, and you want to agree with everything they say. Like, really?
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't fucking care. I don't need to agree with everything they say. Shit, I like Sean Strickland.
Well,
cool with me.
I'm talking about the media. You know.
Oh shit. Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, the media and stuff like that. I like them. You know, I guess I'm not really sure about the, you know, the number 1 contender. I'm pretty sure it is and everything like that. However, you know, I would definitely take Sean Strickland. He's a slight underdog against Pereira. So to me, as somebody who gambling, and I know, like, Sean Strickland is nice, okay, and it's just to the point, like, you know, how some people. And even his last couple of fights, he don't even allow this fight to get to the ground because I feel like that's how good his stand up is. So it's just like, man, you know, as long as he don't get to the ground, I think he'll be fine. And I don't think really nobody can stand with him. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
You
I
talking
don't
about
think
Pereira?
nobody can tell. No. Sean Strickland.
Well, he's fighting a kickboxer.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. I mean, well, yeah, that's a good
So
point.
so
It's
you so
kickboxing
you think
versus
you think
it's
Sean
go
Strickland's
stand
gonna
up.
try to outstrike him?
I think he can outbox him clearly. So, but you know, it's an MMA fight, so we gonna see.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you're right. I will say this. You know, Sean's last couple of fights, you know, he's been looking like he's been honing in a little bit because even with that whole main event against Uriah Hall and stuff like that, yeah, he won that fight and everything. But you know, it's a pure boxing match and he's touching. He ain't been talking like because I think he might be taking it more seriously now, which is good. We'll see. I think this is gonna be a true test. This will be a true, you know, good fight for him and stuff like that. So we'll see. But yeah, I would definitely take Sean Strickland. Definitely.
I think
All
I'm gonna
right.
pick. I think I'm picking Pereira. You know, I think he's gonna.
Really?
I think he's gonna mix in some kicks, and I think he's gonna be a little bit. He's gonna be just aggressive enough to. You know, I think he's gonna point fight. You know, I don't think he's gonna want to. You know, get down and dirty with Sean Strickland. You know, because you know he obviously has the grappling disadvantage. So. I'm expecting to
Yeah.
do what he did in his last fight against Bruno Silva, just be at range for him to beat Israel, basically. You know, just be at range, kick your legs, you know, a lot of push kicks. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we will see. So it'll be interesting.
Is
All right,
is
we
that the
move
first
on.
fight that we didn't agree on?
Yeah, exactly. I would take Sean Strickland all day because, like I said, I mean, this other dude, I probably seen him, but he ain't stood out to me where I'm like, all right, damn, you know, it ain't nothing like that. I'm not sure I have seen no fight, but it's only been 2 fights in the UFC, and you know, that's how I think about it. If you watch him that's how many fighters it is in the UFC and stuff like that. So, I mean, clearly he has to be decent to be making it on the main card. So, I mean, that's why you know it's gonna be the fight. But
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
not
it's interesting. You know,
the
that's why you want to hear too to get your perspective because I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna be on Sean Strickland because they are not gonna be thinking like you. They gonna be thinking like me. Oh yeah, Sean Strickland, like ooh, this guy Pereira. But the true people who know this know what you know. You know what I mean? So that is good information. You know what I mean? And he's a slight favorite. You know, and this is what I'll say too about this, just from gambling perspective. Like right now, that'll be good value on him because he's a slight favorite. You know what I mean? And if
Mhm.
you talking about like, yeah, you think he'll win since he got that kickboxing edge and he knows that, that's not something everybody will know. And you know, and see, that's why I try to. This is why stuff like this in this forum is good because we can get to the truth behind it, and we can come back and do a review. And you know what? That's why I will do a review, especially on about this fight.
Well, we
I
100% gonna do a
I
review.
would do recency. What's that?
I say 100% gonna do a review. This is a great card.
Yeah. This is right. This is recency bias. Like I said, I like Sean Strick, and just even hearing your opinion and stuff like this is going to be a huge. I mean, just a test for him because, like you said, now I did look up dude's record, Pereira's record. He got all these hits. Like he's a nice kickboxer. I mean, so he could catch Sean Strickland with some. You know what I mean? So, you know, he's that's very real, and yeah, he's a decorated kickboxer. You know what I mean? So shit. It
Well,
look like he's been
we'll
doing
see
this.
how Sean Strickland decides to. We'll look at his game plan and see how it works out.
Right.
I
But
think we know
like I
what
said, you know,
Pereira's
it'd
gonna
be
do.
right. Um. Okay. All right. Um. Let's go. All right. So we'll move on to the next one, which is Volkanovski versus Holloway. I'm gonna I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay.
And
This
yeah.
is it's a highly
Oh
anticipated fight.
shit.
You know, this is the third fight in the series. Volkanovski's up 2-0. A lot of people would say, I would say that Max won the second fight, but you know that's how the judges judge. With these two, these are probably if you take a three-headed Mount Rushmore and say UFC featherweights, it will be these two guys and Jose Aldo. I'll put
Oh
Jose
wow.
in yeah, it'll be these three because they've all beat each other. But it's kind of going towards Volkanovski because he has wins over Aldo, he has wins over Max. So if he beats Max Saturday, like, I mean, Max might as well move up to lightweight. He might as well do something else, because nobody's going to be hankering to see a third fight. A fourth fight, where he's down 0-3. So
Right.
with this fight, the styles, the matchup is always going to be exciting. Max is primarily a puncher, a boxer. People would say he's the best boxer in the UFC, but most people would say Volkanovski is the most well-rounded guy that we've seen in a long time, since GSP. The way he's able to use leg kicks, he's able to out leg kick Jose Aldo. He's able what he did to Korean Zombie was really sad. That showed how far he is away from somebody who's not named Max Holloway, and in the rest of the division. He
Right.
beat the shit out of Ortega. So
yeah, he did. That was still a good fight, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's not Max that's gonna beat him, then I think his next fight will be at lightweight. He'll have to move up or move down or fight Cejudo or somebody, because there'll be nothing left for him to do after this fight if he beats Max, and there'll be nothing left for
I feel
Max
you
to
already
step
beat
up
the
with.
fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I feel you on that. Yeah, that's I agree with everything you said. Even watching his last two fights, Volkanovski's last two fights, he made like, oh damn, what? It's just like I can't even count the Korean Zombie. I'm gonna count the two before that because like that was a massacre that should have been stopped. Yeah, the last Holloway fight in Brian Ortega, like he beat both. Well, he definitely beat Brian Ortega very bad.
Yeah.
Like very bad. That fight should have been stopped. That was one that should have been stopped. That was crazy. But yeah,
It was amazing how he got out of those submissions. That was probably the highlight. Like, you can't even submit this guy.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh yeah, the Volk got out of the submissions, right? Yeah, no, because he had the standing guillotine, right?
Yeah,
he had the standing guillotine home locked up. Yeah,
he
I
had
remember that.
a triangle too. Yeah, was it a triangle?
Okay.
I think it was a triangle. Yeah, I think it was a triangle.
Yeah, I definitely remember the like he jumped on him and had the guillotine, and then Volk got out of that. Like, and he looked like he was calm getting out of it too. Like, so he was phased. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Volk on this one as well.
Yeah, he should be.
Oh, are you picking Volk?
10 times as popular as he is, Volkanovski, for being how good he is.
Yeah, he should be 10 times as popular.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Right. All right. Yeah. So you would pick Volk.
I'm picking Max. I'm a Max fan. I'm picking Max.
Oh, okay.
I think Max won the second fight. Max is gonna come out there and box. He's gonna point at the ground. He's gonna talk to you. He's gonna give you lessons. That's what Max does.
So it's a pay-per-view fight, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping Max, is able to, because chances are he's not gonna knock him out. So I'm hoping he'll pull out a decision, maybe a split, and maybe get another fight. Who knows?
All right.
Watching these two fight, we've seen them twice already, and they're great fights. So the matchup is beautiful to watch. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I got you. Well, I will pick Volkanovski because he just looked like one thing he said I agree with is like he looked like it ain't nothing else for him to do. So I really feel like he gonna come out and try to make a statement. Like, why y'all doing this to me again? I'm gonna have to do this. So I feel like he on his way up to be somebody legendary. Oh, he already is, and I think he'll win. So let's check the odds real quick. I know. They got they got him minus 190 favorite, Max plus 160. So it's a lot of these fights like that on this card. It ain't. That's why I feel like, in my opinion, just looking at the odds and reviewing this, like these should be all around good fights. Okay, it ain't nothing like previous pay-per-views where people like Valentina a couple weeks ago, she was like minus 900. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. And that's how I like to look at stuff like that. Ain't nothing stood out here like, oh damn, it's supposed to be something dominant. Every one of these fights, and nobody on this card is more than a minus like 2 something. Well, ain't nobody more than a minus 300 favorite. So these fights should be good fights, and they shouldn't be like too lopsided. Not, you know what I mean, but that's my opinion. All right, so
Oh, and just to put it out there on the internet, so I can prove that I said it. I did pick Taio Santos to win, and Taio Santos will be a future champion. Just putting that out there. So
I got you. Yeah, she should have beat Valentina. I'm sorry, that was a robbery to me. That was 100% a robbery to me. When people talk about, and this is what, you know, and before we go into the main card, I just want to say a lot of people talk about robberies and stuff like that. To me, I think that's an overused term. Just like with a lot of things, it's one thing if a fight could go either way, and then it's one thing if a fight is a robbery, okay? Like, where it's like, hey, something is up type of thing. People can't, like, people were saying that shit about the fights last night. Nobody even fucking care about them fights. You know, oh my God, so-and-so was robbed. Nah, you know what I mean? Not unless it's like something egregious where you go like, oh, that was a fucking robbery. You know what I mean? Like, so that's when, and this is the thing I gotta say to the fighters too, is like, hey, if you don't want to be robbed in the fight, it's a fight. Ain't no fight really supposed to be going to decision. So fuck it, end the fight. So it ain't got to go to the judges. That's what I say about it. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's uncertainty. You can have a dominant fight and the judges fuck you over. That's just part of what it is right now. So hey, it is what it is. So anyway,
I'm Calvin Kattar, and I'm gonna throw 2,000 punches, and I'm gonna throw jabs just to feint and gauge distance. But I'm trying to win, though. I'm Calvin Kattar, right?
Yeah, I mean, people say he got robbed. I don't think he got robbed. He fucking lost.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, you know, that's what I'm saying.
He fucking lost, yo. Like, for real, man. This ain't like, I mean, but you know, here's another thing too, which I feel like ain't talked about enough, man. We looking at it as fans and gamblers, man. We don't know what they do, because like, you know, I see some of these fights sometimes. I'm like, why, you know, and everybody does that. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? We ain't them. We don't know what's going through their mind. We don't know what they train for, or whatever. We don't know like what stuff they got going on with the UFC. Like, I ain't trying to be conspiratorial or anything like that, but you be like, hey, you know what? We don't know. We don't know. We be like, hey, man, you know, it's a pay-per-view fight. Go make sure all these go to the distance or something like that. Because I will say, just my personal opinion, I do feel like some of these fights are like that. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. Because it's just like, hey, you know what? People pay all this money and shit. Like, what if, you know, just for instance, all these fights on the main card ended in the first round? You'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's a part of it. And then one thing that I was tweeting about last I'm talking about last Saturday show, 2 days ago. I don't like all this friendly shit in the fights. All right, I'm sorry, I don't like that shit at all. Like at all. That's actually one of my biggest pet peeves watching this shit. Like, all right, after round one, let's shake up. Fuck all that, okay? I actually like all the fights, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be watching some of the shit this week, okay, about how these fighters are interacting with each other. It's a pay-per-view fight. It's a fight, man. Like, stop with this whole. I understand, like, if it's an eye poke or you know, like a nut shot or something like that, man. But like, fuck all this like shaking up before the rounds and shit like that. Now, man, we might. That depends if I know you or something. If we cool, we might do a glove touch. But if I really don't fuck with, we ain't doing no glove touch, nuh-uh. You know, just like Adrian Yanez, like Houston. Nah, man, fuck all that shit. You know what I'm saying? We punt. That's how it's supposed to be. Shit, it's a fight, man. Like, shit, fuck all this friendly shit, man. I don't want to. That's how I like to choose fighters too. That's another thing on me. You know what I mean? And then after this main card, we gonna go and do you know, just some final thoughts, and then we can wrap it up. It's already been an hour and a half, which is cool. So, all right. Then the main event, we got Israel Adesanya and Cannonier. So, you know, I'm gonna start off with saying this. Like, I know they talk about how this is my opinion as somebody who then started watching UFC regularly for the past 2 years. I think they kind of have similar styles, in my opinion. However, to me, it's more like how I would describe this fight. It's like finesse versus strength. Okay, like you gonna finesse with Israel Adesanya, or you just gonna catch somebody with the right motherfucker punch and knock him out with Cannonier and motherfuckers might have to go to the hospital that night. You know what I mean? That's how I see this fight going. That's just my personal opinion. So we got. Oh shit! This is the only fight that is. See, this is interesting to me. This is the only fight in the card where they got Israel Adesanya as he's the heaviest favorite on the card. He's the heaviest favorite at minus 365, and they got Cannonier at plus 180. I'm saying that as a gambler, I would say this would be more of like all the other fights on the card. Okay, now the only thing that will tell me if Israel Adesanya wins, like, and I'm gonna really pay attention. Obviously, if he really wins this fight like handily, I'll be like, okay, wow, like maybe he truly is nice. But I see some vulnerabilities in him. As in, I feel like he could get caught by somebody like Cannonier. That's just my opinion. Okay, so me looking at these odds is like, damn, you know what? If I really was the best on fucking money on this or anything like that, I feel like Cannonier by knockout is a possibility. You know what I mean? It probably could. So, and that's another thing too that we could talk about on there. I want to see how they look. I want to see how they look at the weigh-ins. You know what I mean? This is when I was when doing this fight for real, looking at the weigh-ins, and making the decision after that, looking at the weigh-ins and the face-offs. Because if Cannonier coming in there looking swollen a bitch like he barely got down to 185 and shit like that, that's not good for Adesanya, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So what, this is one of the fights. I mean, I know we talked about this earlier, but I would actually take Cannonier. Okay, so that's why with the juicy underdog, fuck, it's a fight, and I feel like, and this is another thing too, which I'll add to just say the hunger of Cannonier and taking advantage of this opportunity. Cannonier, I remember after one of his fights, was talking about how he needed to fight because he was broke, and he was hungry and he had his family and shit like that. So, man, you on this pay-per-view stage like this, man, I feel like he's going to go out there and show what he got. He ain't got shit to lose. You know what I mean? So, I feel like, obviously they say it's Adesanya's fight to win. And I feel like, Cannonier will have a shot. And he's going to shock the world. So, that's just my take on it. So, you go ahead.
Okay. Well, as you know, nobody else knows, but as you know, I picked against Israel a couple times. I picked him. I picked him to lose. Yoel. I picked him to lose to Paulo Costa. I'm a big Paulo Costa fan, so I definitely picked against Israel. But in this one, I was leaning towards Cannonier. Because he's a former light heavyweight, former heavyweight. He's definitely 100% the stronger fighter. But when it comes to the style matchup and the way that Cannonier is able to be offensive, I think this is a really, really bad matchup for Cannonier when it comes to Israel. Israel's 6'4" with 80-inch reach at middleweight. Like how if Cannonier is looking to strike with him, if he's gonna strike with distance, he'll get ate up, he'll get eaten alive. We've seen him fight the bigger, stronger guys. We've seen him fight Yoel. We've seen him fight Paula. He's fought guys that are bigger than him, that are stronger than him, that are more explosive.
Right.
Israel's been through this before. The only way Cannonier, in my opinion, can win is if he takes Jan Blachowicz' game plan, which is just to be a brute, just to be a bully. It's very hard to bully Israel at 185. He's not coming up in weight. And Cannonier has to suck himself out just to make 185. So. I see a striking fight that goes 5 rounds with Cannonier kind of looking listless after maybe the third, going into the fourth. He'll just be extra tired. Nobody sweats more than Jared Cannonier. If you ever seen him in his post-fight interviews, he's the most sweating ass nigga ever of all time. So he's gonna do a lot of sweating. He usually doesn't fight 5 rounds. His last 5-round fight, he fought at Robert Whittaker. He got beat up. He broke his arm. So I'm thinking Israel's just going to do what he usually does. He's going to stay at range. He's going to kick your legs. He's going to kick your calves. He's gonna throw a couple head kicks. He's gonna, do a lot of head movement, a lot of flexing, a lot of styling, and that's gonna be the
Right.
fight. I doubt there's gonna be a knockout. Unless Cannonier runs into something, or unless Israel runs into something. But Israel usually doesn't run into anything.
Yeah. No, I actually meant it. This will be a good fight. I feel like, you know what I mean? See, I what you just mentioned about area his range, that's very important, and makes a lot of sense about his fight style, why he's able to, you know, met why he's able to win. Obviously having a big advantage like that, and he is gonna have the advantage on Cannonier. Cannonier is 5'11". I think what Adesanya like 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4". Yeah.
Right. So I feel like that's in Cannonier. I feel like his path to victory is obviously gonna have to be a knockout punch. You know what I mean? So I
Well,
don't
I mean, he
really.
can lean on him too, but Israel's is so good at dictating the range. Like, you're not just going to be able just to rush him down and push him up against the cage. He's 6'4". He's going to counter you. He's going to kick you. He's going to move out the way. Like, he's one of the best at takedown defenses already in his division. Like, already. So.
Right.
And Cannonier is not the biggest wrestler. We never seen him, actually just take guys down and hold them there. So I
Right.
think Israel is gonna, it's just gonna be another clinic. If I'm
Oh, okay.
wrong,
Wow. Okay. Damn. Oh, okay. I mean, strong words, man. Like in a fight, you say it's gonna be a clinic. Like, damn. It's,
well, did you see his last fight? Did you see his last fight against Robert Whitaker? That was pretty much,
yeah.
pretty much come get me.
Yeah.
Can you
No.
catch
Yeah.
me?
He
Nope.
definitely put clinic on. Yeah. Absolutely. It was like he
Mhm.
wasn't on his level.
Yeah. Like, can you punch me? Nope. Can you kick me? Nope. Keep chasing me. Keep running me down. Keep being out of range. I'm gonna keep push kicking you. I'm gonna stand against the cage. You're gonna jump in. I'm gonna move out the way. We've seen Israel fight over and over, and his style he's a style bender.
All
He's
right.
gonna. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he the style bender. Right. I got
so
it. Right. All
bends
right.
but doesn't break, which is a kind of play on words that Cannonier used. I think today in the interview, he said he plans to bend but not break against the style bender. So we'll see.
Okay, that's kind of corny, but I mean, I guess it's a nice response or whatever. But
Well, Cannonier is a very, very weird guy. If you ever hear him talk, he's really into space and he's all about. I think he read The Secret. You remember that book? And he's really into a lot of stuff. Look him up. Look him
okay,
up.
I'm cool on all that. Whatever. You just see. I just like. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? So this is the preview. It ain't the full card breakdown. We could potentially do that, in the week. I don't know yet. We just gonna see because I can really break down the odds. I can watch some more videos and do some more analysis on stuff like that. But all right, who are you? I mean, you kind of swayed my opinion a little bit, but like I said, see, this is what I look for when betting. I just feel like there's some value in Cannonier. A little bit. I mean, I feel like it's kind of like, damn, like I don't know. It is evenly matched, man. But in terms of the odds, I feel like maybe it is kind of correct. But I feel like Cannonier got a shot. I mean, clearly got to show us a fight, but it ain't like he gonna get his. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I would take Cannonier if we just fucking taking a pick. Fuck, I don't give a fuck about the odds. I ride with Cannon. I ain't a big fan of Israel Adesanya and his antics, and he be doing some gay shit sometimes and shit. Yeah, he was wearing that pink. Fuck all that, man. I don't fuck all that. Even though I know he a fighter and shit, man, but I can't condone that shit. I can't condone that shit. You know what I mean? So that's gay as hell.
Hey
So
man,
I
hey
don't.
man, it's all good, man. He's a dancing ass nigga. Like, you.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit. I mean, I guess that's cool, man. It must be some Australia or New Zealand shit or wherever the fuck what I'm saying, he claimed he from or wherever, you know what I'm saying. And I know he was talking about some of the one thing he did say, which I kind of fuck with. He did say that he wasn't fighting back in Australia or whatever because of the mandates and shit. So he said he would never fight there again. So that was a good statement that I agree with. But other than that, man, like that shit is gay, yo. You can't, and it ain't shit to wear pink, but the shit he was doing, what the fuck he was like painting his neck, whatever. That shit was gay. Yeah, I got a pink shirt, you know what I'm saying? But nah, I ain't gonna be all decked out in pink. You know what I mean? That's gay. So yeah, like that's even like I remember like people was even researching whenever he was doing that shit that like people were trying to find out if he was gay. Matter of fact, I remember I was because I remember hitting you up like, yo, is he gay? Like, why was he doing that? That shit was weird. So I don't think. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm definitely going with Cannonier. Shit, that gay ass shit. Man, matter of fact, that's what we should do in the review. In the review, is put some pink that's what I should do. Expose his ass. But man, yeah, man. But that's cool. Man, we could So I'm gonna just wrap this up. So because just in case somebody do want to watch, it's an hour 42 minutes. We did a preview on every fight. I ain't gonna lie, it's a Monday. If somebody's really serious about betting or even just watching these fights, I think we did a fair breakdown with both of our perspectives and everything. So, you got any last takes or anything you want to say to the people before we move on? You know what I'm saying? And we end this, and we will be we will be doing a review. So, I actually think a lot of people. I'm not gonna do a live stream with the fight or anything like that. I feel like a review right after the fight, and if we, you know what I'm saying, that would be good. So while it's still fresh in everybody's mind. So if you wanna, we could talk about that later. But you got anything else you want to say?
I'll just tell people to come back and listen to the review. We're definitely gonna do a review video and check us out. Was it Saturday night? Yeah, check us out Saturday night.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. All right, so I mean, shit, we got one person. I'm cool with because he even sent me a message or whatever, but he ain't in here no more. But yeah. So all right, I'm gonna end it, man. So I'll hit you up right after this.
All right, man.
All right.